What's up? My name is Ruby Skilton, founder of Podcast & Co. And today I'm going to be sharing with you the 5 things you need to know to create an extremely successful podcast. So, first of all, let's talk about good audio. Having good audio is so important. And I'm not saying your audio has to be perfect, but it has to be at least good. Think about it this way: when you're putting up a YouTube video, you want it to look good, you want it to look professional, you don't want it to look pixelated or grainy. Same thing when you're putting out a podcast. It's an audio format content, so you want it to at least sound decent. Some ways you could accomplish this is by having a good setup, not by a window, so don't do what I'm doing right now. Definitely somewhere cozy. Some places that you can record are a closet that has a lot of clothes, maybe a small room that has carpet, somewhere that has fabrics to absorb the sound. So definitely number 1 is good, at least decent audio. Number 2 is just be consistent. Consistency goes a long way when it comes to podcasting. The more you upload, the more people download, the better your numbers are. So consistency is so important, especially when you're trying to build it up or you're new and you're trying to form that expert title to whatever it is you're teaching. Then definitely you're going to want to be as consistent as possible. A great way to stay consistent is batch creating your content and just being ahead of the game. So I know it can get difficult if you are recording, editing, uploading all a day before. So make sure to batch create, batch record, have episodes ready to go whenever it's time to launch or upload. Number 3 is have a good and clear podcast name. What I mean by that is that, 1, it sounds good, it sounds easy, it sounds like it rolls off the tongue kind of thing. But also you want to make sure that it's clear. So when your listener is trying to find a podcast, and thousands of podcasts that there is, that when they read your title or your podcast name, it's going to stand out. They're going to be like, yes, this is exactly what I need. So I see a lot of beginners when they're starting a podcast naming their show kind of like the Ruby Show or the Kayla Show or whatever. I don't know if there's a show named Kayla Show, but names like that, unless you have an established audience or you are a celebrity or an influencer, whatever that looks like, I don't recommend putting that as your podcast name. Go with something a little bit more clear, a little bit that captures your attention and you know what you're getting into. So for example, there's like now it's the Chris Harder Show, but before that, when he first started, it was For the Love of Money. You knew exactly what you were getting into and it was super clear. So use your podcast name as a way to attract people. So having a super clear podcast name will attribute a lot of your initial success. So at the beginning, you want to be as clear as possible with the podcast name. Number 4 is having a structure to your podcast. This allows your audience to know exactly when you're launching what, when you're releasing what. So this means if you are doing interviews, then having interviews come up on Wednesday and solos on Tuesdays, or interviews on Thursdays and solos on Tuesdays, whatever you decide to do. Just having set days for those releases as well as set times. So your audience knows exactly, okay, Tuesday at 4 p.m. there is going to be a new episode, or Thursday at 2 p.m. there's going to be a new guest interview. So structure will help you stay organized and help your audience know when to come back, therefore increasing your success. Number 5, and I think it's one of the most important ones, is service your community. What I mean by that is that people get behind missions. We all want to impact the world in some sort of way. So, attaching a mission to your podcast is so beneficial. And by a mission, this could be anything from my mission is to create a community that catches up on, I don't know, keeping up with the Kardashians or something. I don't know. Or my mission is to educate female entrepreneurs. Or my mission is to help stay at home moms build new habits and find time for their hobbies. I don't know. Like, your mission could be whatever it is. But making that super clear and attaching that to your podcast, talking about it, building a community about it, will determine in the long run how successful your podcast is. Because, yeah, you could have 1 million listeners, but if they're not the same dedicated listeners, it really doesn't matter. And keep in mind, success all comes down to what you believe success is. It could be impacting 10 people, or it could be getting 100,000 downloads. So make success what you want it to be. But I hope those 5 tips help. And they are 5 things I wish I knew when I was first starting a podcast. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.